It all, this is a warning, you better avoid. Poets are paranoid, DJs destroy. Yes, I came back.
That's a G53 and I swear that bitch go bang. Every time your shit come on, she cutting it up. It's only one of me, you cannot touch my brain. You just can't. I'm with all my guys, these bitches ain't in our lane. Bang. I'm a high school dropout, now I'm breaking the bank. Only hit your hoe one time, I love something. Gang. We got sneaks in this bitch when he sliding in no Mustang. We ain't in a double R truck, got a big ass tank. How you find yourself trying to come up off my thing? And I never do that shit to you cause it's lame. Yeah. Dude, you just got locked up, man, free the boy out of the chain. And I love that nigga that day, he'll catch me a break. Nigga bitch cheating on him, tell my bitch better not do that shit. I'ma lose my shit. My nigga got a stick, I ain't even gotta say he gon' do that shit. He gon' shoot that bitch. Big ass FM, but it's there, go through all that shit. Got a lot of shit. I've been through, but it's like 10 times I don't do all that shit. And it's crazy how a nigga came up cause I called it. Big lock on my side, take precautions. Filling my cup up with mud cause I'm ballin'. It's so crazy how I made it, I caught it. Remember when I couldn't get up in college? I'ma still hit this hard, meaning much got miles. Pray to look up every night, I'm so righteous. Running from demons, I'm so tired of fighting. She must be off for something cause she wildin'. If my brother need it, he know he got it. On the hood, by speed and running the mountains. Got the G53 and I swear that bitch go bang. Every time your shit come on, she cutting it off. It's only one of me, you cannot touch my brain. You just can't. I'm with all my guys, these bitches ain't been.
Man, oh man, chat. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? The Milwaukee Bucks. Push one if y'all hear me, chat. Push one if the mic is good. Push one if y'all hear me, chat. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Push one if y'all hear me, man. Because I am about to unleash. I am about to unleash on the Milwaukee Bucks, ladies and gentlemen. They are 0-2 since getting Doc Rivers. I'm not even call this man a Doc, man. He is a Glenn Rivers who don't make no adjustments, ladies and gentlemen, whose scheme is very, very questionable as well. They go fire Adrian Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, right? And this is why I have to get on Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Y'all go fire Adrian Griffin, who a guy that when he was coaching y'all was a top 2 offense in the NBA. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, right? You was a top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. You had the second best record in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, right? So Giannis Antetokounmpo sat there and said, you know what? I don't want to be coached by Adrian. This man is a first-year head coach. He's a black head coach at that, right? They go have a lockdown defender in Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and 8 shots at the rim. Scoot Henderson is going block for block for Giannis Antetokounmpo in the fourth quarter. Y'all can't contain shit. The transition defense is absolutely impeccable. It's trash. Noah's Yo, my mic is bad. Hold on. Hey, chat, y'all hear me now? Y'all hear me, chat? Chat, y'all hear me? Which one of y'all hear me, chat? Which one of y'all hear me, chat? Is it clear? Is it crystal clear, chat? Okay, bet. Now we good. So he was talking all that shit, ladies and gentlemen, right? No defense was nowhere to be found, ladies and gentlemen, right? They couldn't contain on the point of attack. They couldn't contain on ball. At the end of the day, bro, guys were getting easy buckets at the rim. You had goddamn Scoot Henderson was cooking that defense whatsoever. You got guys just consistently getting to the rim, and cooking that defense in the post in the paint. Y'all sitting there and told me that Brook Lopez and Giannis Antetokounmpo was two elite rim protectors, and you got guys like the DeAndre Ayton cooking their ass, especially in the paint as well. Doc Rivers' decision making, especially late down in that fourth quarter as well, was very, very suspect, bro. You run the same old goddamn plays where you post Giannis Antetokounmpo at the elbow, and then you use Brook Lopez as a screener, bro, and then allow Damian Lillard to shoot that open 3-point jump shot. The Portland Trailblazers know what they was doing, bro, and they actually scheme against that shit, bro. They scheme against that shit, bro. This man Doc Rivers is not a good coach, and it's crazy how they fire Adrian Griffin, right? They fire Adrian Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, right? They fire Adrian Griffin to go get goddamn Doc Rivers, Glenn Rivers. I'm not even calling him Doc Rivers. He's a Glenn River, bro. So they went to go get this nigga, and they still suck, bro. They still not good. How you gonna fire Adrian Griffin in the middle of the goddamn season? Knowing damn well, bro, this team already built chemistry. They already built continuity. They already know what the coach, bro. This is all on Giannis, bro. This is all on Giannis, ladies and gentlemen, bro. This is all on him, bro. At the end of the day, bro, you can't tell me that this nigga is not no good coach. This man has been coaching guys from James Harden, for Joel Embiid, for Kawhi Leonard, for Paul George, for Tracy McGrady, from all these other players, and he has always underachieved every single year, bro. Every single year, this man Doc Rivers has underachieved, bro. Your team is giving up transition open looks. That's all on the goddamn coach, and that's on the players as well. But it's the thing, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know what I'm saying, felt like it was all on the goddamn coach, nigga. You go get the coach that's even worse in adjustments. You go get the coach that's even worse in coming up with an adequate scheme enough, bro, to scheme around his players, bro. Like I said, bro, they're done. They suck. They suck, chat. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing what I'm saying. Then you got Giannis Antetokounmpo choking from free throw line, missing 2 fucking free throws, bro. Not taking the challenge of putting his team on the goddamn bet Nate in the fourth quarter as well, bro. Scoot Henderson is going Glock for Glock with this nigga in the fourth quarter. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And they told me that Glenn Rivers was the answer. They told me Doc Rivers was the answer. They told me, ladies and gentlemen, that, you know, firing fucking that coach from the goddamn Milwaukee Bucks, bro. They told me that this was going to absolutely change the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to get better than what they actually was, bro. They just showed you they just blow up the whole goddamn team, bro. This nigga Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in NBA history, bro. How the hell is he keep on getting head coaching jobs, bro? You down 3 and this idiot drew up a play where Giannis got the ball, bro? Knowing damn well the Portland Trail Blazers needed a foul. They're going to foul y'all ass because if you give the ball to Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro, who's a lousy free throw shooter, ladies and gentlemen, common sense, common knowledge will sit there and say, you know what? Foul Giannis, nigga. You didn't even give the ball down to Damian Lillard with no timeouts left. Damian Lillard is your best shot creator coming half the court, bro. What are we doing here, bro? This nigga Doc is ass. This nigga Doc is ass, bro. And it's crazy how this man is still living off the reputation, bro. They living off the reputation, bro, of him being the actual great goddamn defender, bro. Or a great coach, bro. Because he won in 08, bro. Since this nigga won in 08, this man is still getting these jobs and having his great reputation as he's a great coach, bro. He is not no good coach, my nigga. Meanwhile, there's other coaches in the league that are better than Doc Rivers, can't get no job because they blackballed it for the NBA. This nigga sucks, bro. And then the plays that he draws up during the half or during timeout, when they're down 3 or 2 points, this man runs the same action with Damian Lillard. I'm like, bro, this shit gets predictable. I already knew they was gonna draw up their play for Dame. You could have used double staggers for Middleton coming off a pin down screen, or you know what I'm saying? You could have did something else than that shit. Or you could have worn horns and have Giannis at the baseline and then then run an action when Giannis lobbing up to the goddamn rim and shit like that, bro. This is sad, bro. And I seen it with my Los Angeles Clippers. This man Doc Rivers waited until goddamn Luka Doncic was frying us in that first 3 games in that series against the Mavericks and against the Clippers in the bubble, right? He gonna wait to game 4 and game 5 to make adjustments. And when he makes adjustments, ladies and gentlemen, right? That's when we won a series. This man Doc Rivers don't make no adjustments. He's not an adequate enough coach as well. But he's still getting jobs though. He's still getting jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Right? The Bucks season is over. They're not winning nothing. They're not winning nothing, bro. I'm sorry for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. They're not winning shit, bro. This team does not have the scheme. The on-ball defense is even worse than I even expected. This team is not really sound defensively, and then you go hire even a worse coach who's not great at making in-game adjustments. And that, bro, they're done. Now I gotta hear more Giannis fans sit there and say, "Oh, it was Doc Rivers' fault." Who wanted Doc Rivers in the first place? Who wanted Doc Rivers in the first place, bro? Who wanted this man in the first place? Then you got Giannis Antetokounmpo getting hit with multiple charges, bro. He got hit by 2-3 charges. I told you his inside game is predicated on bulldozing guys over, bro. He got hit by 2-3 charges. He missed 2 free throws as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo was not perfect and was not great down the stretch, and he needs to be better, especially him being the best player on that team. This is sad, bro. They lose again. They get their ass whooped again. They get destroyed again. They get torched again. This who Giannis wanted? Chat, this who Giannis wanted, chat. This who they wanted. They fired Adrian Griffin, and this is what happens, bro. They didn't even allow Adrian Griffin, bro, to get his foot wet in the postseason. They go fire Adrian Griffin, right? They go fire Adrian Griffin to go bring in a coach that's even worse. Oh, Mookie, the personnel that he was running, he didn't the schemes that he was running, he didn't have the personnel to run it, and it took him a while for using Damian and Giannis pick and rolls. And did I see a Damian Giannis pick and roll last night against or a couple nights ago against the Denver Nuggets? Did I see that? When they blew a 20-point lead, did I see a Dame Giannis pick and roll that Doc Rivers was implementing? Did I see any masculine adjustments that Doc Rivers is making? No. This nigga is not no good coach, nigga. Now they're going to fire Doc Rivers at the end of the year. When are y'all going to start holding y'all leader and y'all best player, Giannis Antetokounmpo, accountable, bro? Part of the problem, he has to get blamed. This nigga wanted Adrian Griffin. This nigga got Coach Bud fired, right? He got Kidd fired as well, right? He didn't want a Jason Kidd. He got Coach Bud fired. right? Then he put pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks front office to sit there and say, bro, if y'all not making no significant moves or no changes, bro, I'm out of there. And that's fine. Him putting the front pressure on the front office, sit there and say, hey, bro, basically, if you don't give me no help or there's not no adequate changes in this organization, bro, I'm out of here. For your best player to do that and to get and for the organization to make some moves, that's fine. That's some G shit, Giannis. But Giannis, what are you doing to impact the team overall, defensively and offensively? What are you doing to hold your bar? Because the organization can make all these moves. They can make all these changes all they want to. They can sit there and get people fired because you don't want to play with them. And they can sit there and bring players that can fit around your skill set as well. But what are you doing, Giannis? What are you doing? And I'm going to tell you what Giannis is doing, ladies and gentlemen. Defensively, the impact is there, but it's not there from a team whole concept as whole. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, bro, he getting coaches fired. Adrian Griffin is gone because Giannis Antetokounmpo basically signed off on that shit. Not only that, bro, he go get a nigga in Doc Rivers, and that shit is not going to goddamn get better because we know that Doc Rivers is not great at making adjustments. They sat there and bought in Damian Lillard for your ass, bro. They bought in another superstar for goddamn Giannis Antetokounmpo as well, bro. And what he did, bro, he got rid of Drew Holiday, a nigga that actually was great enough to win the championships, which actually was producing a top 3 to top 4 defense in the NBA. You go bring in this nigga Damian Lillard, who's a great offensive player, but is a liability defensively, right? And then at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, right? This man Doc Rivers didn't want Adrian Griffin, got his ass out of there, and now the Bucks are on a 2-game losing streak, bro. Whether they're like second or third in the Eastern Conference, I don't see this shit getting better. I really don't. I mean, if Doc Rivers can somehow make some, if he can actually prove everybody wrong and make some key, the shit that we seen tonight, chat, bro, the shit that we seen is basically what we're going to see in the postseason, bro. You're down 3. You're down 3 points. And this man, Doc Rivers, give the ball to Giannis Antetokounmpo, knowing damn well that the Portland Trailblazers need to foul, bro. Because they're up, 2 or 3 points, and they're not trying to get a 3-pointer off. You go give it to the worst free throw shooter, bro, on the fucking team in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he missed a couple free throws, and they lose the game. You can't make this shit up, bruh. You can't make this shit up, nigga. Doc Rivers has been bad for years. He's been bad for years. Right? He's been bad for years, bro. He hasn't been a good coach. He's been bad for years. When are y'all going to come to the conclusion and the understanding that he is just not it? Just think about it. We got a Giannis fanboy here. This man inbound the ball to Giannis. Instead of inbounding the ball to Dame, he inbound the ball to Giannis when you're down 3, right? That is a sign of a terrible coach. And all they did is foul Giannis, put his ass on the free throw line, and basically sat there and said, you know what, missed 2 free throws, we win the fucking game. But I was told that it was all Adrian Griffin. I was told that Adrian Griffin is not a good coach, and they fired him in the middle of the season, right? But you're going to bring in a coach that's even worse than that. And when are y'all going to start holding this man Giannis accountable? When are y'all going to hold Giannis Antetokounmpo accountable, bro? He didn't want to play with Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, who's a better coach than Adrian Griffin, who's a better coach than Doc Rivers. He told the front office, sit there and said, I don't want to play with Nick Nurse. So that's a problem with Giannis. They gave this motherfucker Damian Lillard, right? They gave him help. He put pressure on the front office. He wanted Adrian Griffin. He got problem. He got tired of Adrian Griffin, so they fired this motherfucker, right? For the people that sit there and put Giannis Antetokounmpo as this top 3 to top 4 defender in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, right? And sit there and say, oh, Giannis Antetokounmpo gives you elite rim protection, which can impact a team for being a top 4 to top 5 defensive unit in the NBA, right? And basically, they've been going against everybody that have a great elite point of attack defender or on-ball defender and sit there and say Giannis is better than an on-ball defender because rim protection and help side defense is more valuable than on-ball and point of attack defense as well, right? And that's the reason why Giannis Antetokounmpo is a top 3 to top 4 defender. So then when you take the best point of attack defender and you take him off the team, right? And y'all want to make this case as rim protection and help side defense are more valuable than on-ball and point of attack defense, then tell me why Giannis Antetokounmpo this year is not impacting a team to a top 5 defensive level if he brings you this elite level rim protection, help side defense at a high level, especially taking away their best point of attack defender in Drew Holiday. Tell me why he is not impacting the Milwaukee Bucks to an elite defensive unit. Because DeAndre Ayton was cooking in the fucking paint. Scoot Henderson was getting into the fucking rim. Guys were blowing past other guys on ball and perimeter-wise, and the shot blocking is not being felt at a high level. So tell me, nigga, tell me, why is this defense is that trash? Because when y'all sit there and say rim protection is more valuable than POA and on-ball defense, then tell me why Giannis Antetokounmpo is not impacting a defense to a top 5 level if he's an elite defender and elite rim protector, ladies and gentlemen. I rest my case. I rest my case, baby. Right? This is unacceptable. This is sad. As people keep on saying, oh, the Clippers start back. This team is not the Clippers, bro. This team got an even worse coach. They have no perimeter on-ball defense. Their transition defense is not really that good. Like, what are we doing here? And then you go fire Adrian Griffin in the middle of the season, act like they're going to do some shit. But the Milwaukee Bucks is done, bro. They be a first and second round action at best. But this is the thing, too. When are we going to start holding Giannis and Dame accountable? Giannis Antetokounmpo was not great in the fourth quarter once again. Damian Lillard struggled. He's been bro. Damian Lillard efficiency has gotten worse since he's been with the Milwaukee Bucks this season, bro. Like, when are we going to start holding those players accountable? Because if we keep on blaming coaches, bro, then that's part of them. If we're going to keep on blaming Adrian Griffin, we're going to keep on blaming Coach Bud. If we're going to keep on blaming fucking goddamn Doc Rivers, even though Doc Rivers is a terrible coach, but Giannis wanted him because Giannis could have went to the front office and said, I don't want no fucking Doc Rivers. Like, when are we going to sit there and say, you know what, bro? Maybe this nigga Giannis Antetokounmpo is a fucking coach killer. Every coach that he has played with, bro, this motherfucker hasn't, like, he ended up having a problem with him. Right? Giannis Antetokounmpo shot 40% from the free throw line, scored 6 points. Dame, in the fourth quarter, 7 points, 37% from the field, 25% from the three-point line. Right? Meanwhile, Ayton cooked them niggas, 8 points in the fourth. He was cooking Brook Lopez's ass. Brogdon had 5 points. Scoot Henderson cooked their ass early. Like, teams got whatever they want on this defense. Whatever they want. Real talk, bro. Herm said Giannis was walking on defense. I gotta bring Herm in to talk about Giannis, man. I gotta bring my man's Herm in because I don't know what I'm seeing with this Bucks team. I don't like what I'm seeing with this Bucks team. This Bucks team looks terrible. They look disinterested. They look disjointed. Like it's just not looking good for this team. You see what I'm saying? But this right here is just sad. This is just sad, bruh. Okay, Brandon, they don't have no POA defenders. We understand that. We understand that the Bucks defense has been trash. So why the fuck did y'all blame Adrian Griffin because of the lack of personnel that they don't have? That's the problem. We understand that Damian Lillard is a cone. We understand that they don't have no good on-ball, perimeter-oriented players and shit like that, bro. But the fact that y'all fired that first-year head coach and Adrian Griffin in the middle of the season when they top two, despite of them not having the adequate personnel as well, is the point. Milwaukee needs an experienced head coach, and yet they get a guy that's been blowing 3-1 leads and is blowing 2-1 leads in the last goddamn 7 and 8 years, nigga. So there go you experienced coach. You go get a nigga named Doc Rivers. You go get a nigga named Doc Rivers, bro, who can't make no adjustments, whose scheme is so inadequate. Like, what we doing here, bro? Hearn, what's up with Giannis, man? What's up, Hearn? What up right now?
Giannis ain't built like that.
Bucks right now, Hearn.
Giannis ain't built like that. He's overrated. He was terrible tonight. His effort was terrible. He was walking. He was walking on defense. Whenever they was in transition, he was walking on the other end of the court. It was the reason that Coach Budenholzer was playing Giannis 30, 31, 32 minutes a game because he know Giannis gets tired very quickly. So with Giannis playing more minutes than he typically normally plays, Giannis' ass was walking, giving no effort. Then he missed a late game free throws like he always do. Then his defense is highly overrated as well. No type of rim protection. DeAndre Ayton was dominating the boards. Dame Lillard, since he can't stop no damn body, Anthony Simons did what he wanted to late in that fourth quarter, and the Portland Trailblazers just played with more effort, more heart. And Chauncey Billups out-coached Doc Rivers as well tonight. So you got all those factors in one goddamn game. Ticket, you might well pay my $1,000 right now if you want to do it.
You owe you $1,000.
He bet that the Milwaukee Bucks will win the NBA title this year. So he might well pay that motherfucker right now. Man, look, man, the Bucks is not winning the title. I agree with Mook when Mook said they're first or second round exit. Giannis, man, he got to be held accountable. He got to be held to a different standard. End of the day, when you try to put him with the elite, he is not elite. Has no type of skill. Has no go-to moves. Has no footwork. Doesn't even have a post game. Can't even shoot a 10 to 15 footer. Giannis, if Giannis was so great, why he just said, man, fuck it, I'm tired of dang getting cooked. Let me get Anthony Simons since he that great of a defender to stop some type of penetration.
That's not Giannis' role. He's not a good on-ball
we know.
attack. That's not his role.
But Mook, we've been told he's that great of a defender, though. So, I mean, let's see him do it. And Brook Lopez, there's no way in hell Brook Lopez should be taking a game-winning three. This shit crazy, man. A game-time three at that. I mean, this shit crazy, Mook, man. I hate that I'm at work because I know I would be cooking even more. But man, this shit crazy, Mook, man. Start letting niggas like Brandon come in, cause all Brandon gonna do is make excuses for Giannis. He missed the late game free throws on purpose, man, to give them a chance to win and all that dumb shit he finna say. Man, the Bucks is not a championship team, y'all. Y'all gotta face it. Yeah, the Doc Rivers is the most losing coach in playoff history down there, blowing the most leads. There's no hope for the Bucks, y'all. Y'all gotta give up. This season done. It's over.
I agree. When they fired their coach in the middle of the season, that's when I was like, you know what? This is not good for the Milwaukee Bucks. You go fire your coach in the middle of the season and expect that to get better. You fire your coach when you know damn well that he had y'all at the top of the top and the second seed in the Eastern Conference, when you had the second best record in the NBA, right? Especially when y'all don't have the personnel, you don't have the on-ball defenders, you don't have the point of attack defenders and shit like that. And in fact, despite the lack of personnel issues, you still be able to be a second best team in the NBA. And you think just getting a guy in Glenn Rivers, who, Hearn, we just seen it tonight, nigga. They did a 3 to fucking goddamn tie the goddamn game. This man Doc Rivers said, you know what? Let Dame inbound the ball. Let Dame inbound the ball and let Giannis get fouled. They worst 3-point shooter. I mean, the worst free throw shooter on the fucking team. This is crazy.
And that's the type of shit that players that have played for Doc Rivers talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of former players have talked about Doc Rivers not making adjustments when he go against other great coaches. I'm not saying Chauncey Billups was a great coach, but he's a great basketball mind. Man, Doc Rivers just got out coached tonight by Chauncey Billups, a second-year coach. That is pitiful. That is piss poor. Damian Lillard, poor shooting night. He takes some of the dumbest shots in the goddamn league, game in and game out. Man, this shit terrible. Damian Lillard gets cooked by every guard in the NBA. I don't think he could hold a single guard in the league. Then Cameron Payne.
Yeah, but Herm, you're cooking yourself. I mean,
he's been terrible off the bench.
You can't criticize Giannis and at the same time say that Dame can't defend. Look, when you look at Milwaukee's roster, you have Lopez, Lopez, Beasley, and Lillard are all complete trash as perimeter defenders. Giannis has been good this year. The issue is Milwaukee needs better perimeter defenders.
Hold on, Brandon. Giannis is trash on the perimeter and on ball.
That's not true.
Yes, he is.
The issue with Milwaukee, or he's not. Milwaukee had just.
He cannot defend laterally. He cannot push. He can't provide.
That's not true.
Pressure. That is true. He's not a good on.
Why he never tried to guard a Jimmy Butler?
Okay. All right. First of all, Giannis shot 10 of 16 from the field. He was +6. Giannis deferred to Dame. Dame shot horribly. Dame was clearly tired.
And Giannis shot from the free throw line. He shot over 2 from the 3-point line and shot
7 of 11 from the free throw line.
No,
Giannis was not why they lost.
Is this guy praising 7 of 11? That's 63% from the goddamn free throw line, bro. That is terrible. That is not good.
And he missed 2 late
he missed
free
the last.
throws.
He missed. First of all,
it wasn't
he missed.
On purpose.
Let me finish. He missed the last free throw on purpose, so they had a chance to win. He was 7 of 10 from the line. Look, everyone knows. Look, Giannis is a great player. He's not a great free throw shooter.
Brandon, why you don't talk about Giannis' 6 turnovers? He had 6 turnovers. He was 0 for 2 from the 3-point line and shot 63% from the goddamn free throw line as well.
Okay, Giannis shot almost 65% from the field. Giannis was fine. Milwaukee lost this game because Dame couldn't shoot and the Bucks can't defend. Wait. So when you but you look at the Bucks starting lineup, Beasley, Lillard, and Lopez are all bad perimeter defenders.
And Giannis is in that room as well. He's not a good perimeter defender.
No, Giannis is fine. Milwaukee's been one of the best defensive teams in the league for most of the time. Giannis has been in Milwaukee. This is the first year in a decade that Milwaukee struggled defensively with Giannis on the team. And the reason is because of Dame. It's not because of Giannis. Milwaukee was one of the best defensive teams in the league for years with Giannis. Giannis's defense is fine.
Giannis won
Giannis, hold on.
It is.
You keep on citing that Giannis is not a liability on the perimeter. Yes, he is. He cannot defend laterally. He cannot put on ball pressure onto the creators on ball. He don't have great positioning on ball. He's not really good at defending laterally. In the pick and roll, he's not really good at defending as well. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is not.
That's not true. Milwaukee's been one of the best defensive teams in the league every year with Giannis. Giannis can guard. Giannis can guard every position on the floor. I mean, what you're saying is wrong. Giannis does not need to guard perimeter players either.
But that's also invalid take because they also had great point of attack and on-ball defenders. That's why the reason why they were a great defensive unit. So when people sit there and cite that Giannis Antetokounmpo,
no, Giannis's rim protection was a big part of the reason why they were such a good defensive team too.
Okay, so why is his rim protection not a big part of why their defense is elite this year? You're cooking yourself.
No, I'm not, because the NBA is not. Look at the Lakers. Wait, let me finish. Look at the Lakers. Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league, but the Lakers don't have perimeter defenders. Russell, Reeves are trash defensively. It doesn't matter how well you defend the paint in the NBA today with the three-point shooting. If you can't defend the perimeter, you don't have good POA defenders. And Beasley, Lillard, and Lopez are all trash on the perimeter. Milwaukee needs to bring in players like Cruz.
And that's my point. Like, you're going on a large soliloquy. We know that. We know that they're not good on the perimeter point of attack. But my point is that when you sit there and cited all those guys that are not really, really good on ball in the perimeter and on the point of attack, and not sit there and say Giannis is part of the issue, when we know that Giannis has never been an individual one-on-one lockdown perimeter defender. He's never been a guy that's guarding laterally. He's never been a guy that's providing great positioning on ball and that's sending other guys to the help with his on-ball pressure and on the perimeter. We understand that Giannis is not a good on-ball point of attack, on-ball defender. He's good at the help side and rim protection, bro. That's where Giannis is good at. So when you cited that Giannis has been on top 5 defenses, well, you got to also understand that he's had great on-ball and point of attack defenders. The year that in 2019, you got to understand that Eric Bledsoe made an all-defensive team as well, and he was providing some good on-ball and point of attack defense at that year as well. The year that they got Drew Holiday, they was a top 5 defensive unit, one of the best defense in the league. So when you have those good on-ball and point of attack defenders, then yes, the Bucks are a top 5 defensive unit. But y'all sit there and say Giannis Antetokounmpo was a top 5 defender because of his rim protection is so much valuable than what other defenders in the NBA who provide you elite on-ball and point of attack defense, and sit there and say rim protection is more valuable when they fucking took their best point of attack and on-ball defender in Drew Holiday. They're one of the worst defensive units in the NBA. So where is Giannis Antetokounmpo impact, Mr. Brandon?
Butler down in the playoffs when Milwaukee swept them. Giannis is a good perimeter defender. He's a good rim protector. But the other problem with Milwaukee's roster, it's not just you're lying. It's not just that Beasley and Lillard are bad defenders. It's that Lopez is slow. And so what's happened is now that the NBA is smaller and faster, it just doesn't make sense to play Lopez with Giannis. Milwaukee's better off moving Giannis to the 5 and bringing in good perimeter defenders who can surround Giannis with good POA defenders. Lopez is too slow as well. Lopez is getting exposed on the perimeter as well now that the league is smaller and faster.
This is what Lopez has always been. You're not saying anything new. He's never been
but you're missing the point. Because in the past, Milwaukee.
Stop over talking me. When I make my point, you let the host speak. Now, my point is to sit there and say is this, Brian. You're not saying anything new. Lopez has always been slow. He's never been a guy that can defend in space. He's never been a guy that can put on ball pressure and guard the perimeter. That's the reason why he's always in drop as well. So, yes, what you're saying is correct. But despite all the deficiency that you sat there and said, like, we ain't know that about Brook Lopez, Milwaukee Bucks last year was still an elite defensive unit. It's because they had better point of attack defenders, and they had Drew Holiday, who was the one-on-one individual lockdown defender. It was like guarding the team's best player on a consistent basis. So you're not saying nothing new. Hold your man Giannis Antetokounmpo accountable. You say he's a top 5 defender. If he's a top 5 defender, why, when he's on the court, the Milwaukee Bucks is still a below average defensive unit?
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, Milwaukee was not elite defensively last year. You're lying. Because, again, you're looking at regular season stats. The East was weak last year. Milwaukee got exposed defensively in the playoffs last year. If you look at what happened in the playoffs, and Giannis missed 2 games, it wasn't on him. Jimmy Butler completely obliterated Milwaukee in the playoffs. So Milwaukee was not as good defensively as you're saying last year, point one. But the bigger point is, no, let me finish. The bigger point is that Lopez is slow on the perimeter, but that was not an issue in previous years because Milwaukee had the POA defenders like Drew Holiday to cover. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish, okay? Lopez being slow on the perimeter because Milwaukee runs drop coverage was not a big issue in the past because the Bucks had the POA defenders like Drew Holiday. Milwaukee doesn't have the perimeter defenders to cover up how slow Lopez is. Beasley and Dame are horrible defensively. And it's not just that Dame is not a good defender, it's that Dame is playing no defense at all. But the Bucks can't cover up Lopez's slow feet, his inability to guard the perimeter. They don't have the POA defenders to cover it.
Bro, you're saying stuff that I already know. Like, bro, we understand they don't have the perimeters. They don't have the personnel this year. And you sit there and say Brook Lopez slow and him being able to play drop coverage was not exploded in previous years. Yes, it was. He was exploded against the Boston Celtics series when Tatum was like literally pulling him out the paint and literally cooking his drop coverage as well. It was exploded against Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler was literally getting to the rim last year onto Brook Lopez when getting the switch and when Brook Lopez was playing in that drop as well, bro. So his drop coverage has always get exploded. He's always been slow on the perimeter. You're not saying nothing new. And then when you sit there and say that the Milwaukee Bucks was not elite defensive unit last year, that is another lie. They was a top 4 defensive unit last year in the 2022 to 2023 season. On top of that, you had Brook Lopez, who was in DPOY conversations last year. You had Drew Holiday, who was one of the best, if not the best, on-ball and point of attack defender last year as well. You had Giannis Antetokounmpo. That they were an elite defensive unit. They were a top 4 defensive rating, and they were a top 4 defensive unit last season, bro. And previous year, they've been a top 5 defensive unit as well, bro. So what you're saying, bro, is just factually incorrect, baby.
Correct. Because when you talk about Lopez, okay, so Lopez's defense, again, Lopez is a solid defender when he's surrounded by POA defenders. But the problem is Lopez is too slow. So when you have Lopez with Dame and Beasley, Dame and Beasley are both bad perimeter defenders. So when you have Lopez and you have other bad POA defenders, Lopez is getting cooked. The other issue is the NBA is much smaller and faster now than it was 3-4 years ago. So the value of Lopez defensively is not the same as it was 3-4 years ago. Lopez is too slow. He cannot guard on the perimeter, and the NBA is smaller and faster now. The Bucks need players like Caruso. They need players who can guard on the.
All right, Brandon. If you're gonna keep on repeating the same shit, there's no reasons of debating you. You're saying the same shit. You're not rebutting my talking point. You're saying the same old shit that I have debunked so many times. What you're saying about Brook Lopez is factual. He is slow. He plays drop. He cannot guard on the perimeter as well. He get low pass by, which put a hindrance on the defense. But you said all of that shit, and this is what Brook Lopez has been over the last 3 to 4 years, right? And they still, despite that, been an elite defensive unit, despite that, because they had the on ball and they had the point of attack defenders. So my point is to sit there and say is that if Giannis is what you think he is, and he's an elite defender, and he's that what you said he is a top 5 defender in the NBA, then tell me why when he's on the court, the Milwaukee Bucks are a 22nd ranked defensive unit in the NBA. That is a below league average when Giannis Antetokounmpo is on the court. Tell me why. Because if he had this impact that he had defensively, they would be at least around league average with terrible defensive pieces Because I know that Anthony Davis, where he covers so much on the perimeter and help side and the rim protection, still be able to have a league average defense when he's on the court. That is impact, my nigga. So why is Giannis Antetokounmpo not having that impact, bro?
Okay, I'm going to completely cook you in 1 second, okay? So the issue in Milwaukee, again, in the NBA is about perimeter defense. It's not about rim protection. That's why players like DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond are worthless. So you're saying that Giannis is responsible for the shitty defense, even though Milwaukee's been elite defensively with their defense anchored by Giannis for years. So my simple question to you is, name one good defensive team in the NBA that doesn't have good POA defenders. Because Giannis is surrounded by shit POA defenders. So if you're going to criticize Giannis, name one team in the NBA that's good defensively that doesn't have good POA defenders. Name one.
Number one.
Name one.
The Utah Jazz in 2021.
Yeah, that team got destroyed in the playoffs. You want?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I just sat there and named him a defense that was elite without good POA and on-ball defenders, ladies and gentlemen. He thought he had a nigga. Chat. He thought he had me in a casket. He thought he had me. And I told him a team that in the Utah Jazz in 2020, 2021, where they didn't have no good POA defenders, when they was getting cooked defensively, they were still a top 10 defensive unit anchored by Rudy Gobert. You've been cooked, you've been served, you've been put on the platter, and you've been rolled up and smoked on the goddamn backwood. You've been cooked, baby. Damn.
Yeah. This is going to be such a fucking barbecue. You might have to leave the panel now. So first of all, you just proved my point because the league was nowhere near as small and fast back then 4 years ago as it is now. But that Utah team got obliterated in the playoffs. Guess why? Because Gobert, Clarkson, and Bogdanovich could not guard anyone. That team was trash defensively against good offenses. They got destroyed in the playoffs. You literally just proved my point. You got charbroiled. That Utah team with Gobert couldn't guard a dump truck in quicksand in the playoffs. They were trash.
Okay, Brandon, can I ask you a question?
Wait, no. Do you agree or not? Wait. So that team was trash defensively in the playoffs, right or wrong?
Because they face elite offenses.
Elite offenses, really? Okay, I'm going to cook you again now. They did not face elite offenses.
The Clippers was an elite offense, so you've been.
Oh, really? Without Kawhi? With Kawhi getting hurt? Okay. Wait. So you're arguing the Clippers without Kawhi were an elite offense?
Dallas was an elite offense, nigga.
Me, Brandon. Now this is the ether right here, Brandon. Can you say that? Would you say that the Cleveland Cavaliers got good POA defenders?
Cleveland? I would say Cleveland has some good POA defenders, some not. Some
what?
Can you name their good POA defenders?
Well, Cleveland. I mean, Max Strus is a solid defender.
He's not good POA defender, nigga. Stop.
He is. Max Strus is a solid. Max Strus is a solid POA defender.
No,
I don't agree with you. Mobley can guard on the perimeter as well.
He's not a POA.
Stop it.
Right, but Mobley and Allen can switch defensively. They can guard on.
I asked you a question again. You see, chat, how this man is struggling to guard. He's struggling to name a POA defender, right? This motherfucker named Matt Strus and sit there and say he was a good POA. This nigga has been cooking.
They have no good. They rely on their big man, bro.
The Cleveland Cavaliers don't have. Hold on, Herm. The Cleveland Cavaliers don't have no great elite POA defenders, and they still have the number one ranked defense in the NBA this season, in the 2022 to 2023 season. They had the number one ranked defense in the NBA in the 2022 to 2023 season. They had guys like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland in the backcourt. You had Karis LeVert. You had Isaac Okoro, who was playing 21 minutes a game. You had Cedi Osman. They had no POA defenders on that team in the 2022 to 2023 season. And yet they were the number 1 ranked defense in the NBA. So, Brandon, you've been getting cooked on all your goddamn points. Bro.
You're cooked, Brandon.
No, you're lying. First of all, that Cleveland team got exposed. That Cleveland team got their they were not the top ranked defense in the NBA.
Yes,
the East was weak last year. You're just reading stats. That Cleveland team got exposed defensively by the Knicks in the playoffs. And Okoro's a solid POA defender. You also moved the goalpost because you told me you're talking about the Cavs this year. Now you're talking about them last year. And
no. This year, they still have the second best defense in the NBA.
No, they don't. You're just looking at stats. The East is trash this year.
They still, Chad. They still have the second best defense in the NBA this season.
They don't. The East is trash. You're just looking at stats.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. East.
No, you're just reading stats.
Oh, Chad.
Okay, the West is far stronger than the East this year.
Chad. They have the second best defense in the NBA this season without no great POA defenders.
Yeah, that's not true. Okay, but so let's look at
they had
that's not true. First of all, that's not true. Okay. Wait. So now that you clarified, you're talking Okoro and Strauss are good.
Last year, ladies and gentlemen, they had the number 1 ranked defense without no goddamn great elite POA defenders. We can factor in the fact in 2021 and 2022, they had a top 7 defense. They were top 5 in opponents' paint. And where were they POA defenders? Where were they POA defenders? And if you name Isaac Okoro, you was a fucking lie, bro, because he is not no great elite POA defender. So keep on fucking lying. They have been a top 10 defensive unit multiple years without elite levels POA and point of attack defenders. You've been
right, but okay. But let's talk about the difference between. First of all, Strus and Okoro are both good POA defenders, and Mitchell plays good defense when he wants to as well. But when you're talking about Cleveland, okay. So no. So let's talk about the difference between Cleveland and Milwaukee, okay? Because Allen and Mobley are both top defensive players, and they can guard multiple positions. So Lopez is slow as fuck. He can't guard on the perimeter at all. Allen and Mobley are both very versatile defensively. They can guard multiple positions. And again, when you look at Donovan Mitchell plays defense when he wants to, but Donovan Mitchell's 100 times the defender that fucking Dame is for 2 reasons. Mitchell's a better defender, and Mitchell's big enough that he doesn't get exposed against bigger players. Not only is Dame a bad on-ball defender, Dame can't guard bigger players. He just gets obliterated when he gets switched onto bigger players as well. Cleveland's a big team, but Cleveland's front line of Mobley and Allen is versatile defensively. They can guard on the perimeter. Lopez, Dame, and Beasley are all atrocious at defending on the perimeter. Cleveland's personnel is far better defensively than Milwaukee, not close.
What you basically saying, you're saying stuff that we already know. The fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm glad that you initiated that Mobley and other guys guard the perimeter much better than what Giannis Antetokounmpo and
Giannis is fine.
No. Let me talk. I'll let you talk. I'll let you cry and complain and get cooked multiple times. I'm glad that you initiated that Evan Mobley and Jared Allen guard the perimeter much better than what Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm glad that you initiated that Milwaukee Bucks don't have no great personnel, and that's fine. But that can be applicable to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't have no good great POA defenders. They also have a liability on the perimeter. That's Donovan Mitchell, who can't guard a Park Carr, who is literally a cone, and that's the same level as the defender as Damian Lillard. And they still be able to, on top of that, be a top 10, the number 1 ranked defensive unit for multiple years back to back without having an elite level defender, the point of attack and on-ball defender. They don't have no level of Drew Holiday on their team, still be able to be a great defensive unit. And when you sit there and say that that Matt Strus is a great POA defender, that is another lie. Matt Strus struggles guarding laterally. He struggles guarding on ball. Not only that, bro, he gets blown past by consistently, bro. Stop it, bro. You're embarrassing yourself, dude. You're embarrassing yourself.
Okay, first of all, I never said Max Strauss is a great POA defender, but he's a good perimeter defender. And secondly, well, let me finish, okay? Secondly, you got caught completely lying because you cited that Utah team as being some top defensive team. They got destroyed by the Clippers, and Kawhi got hurt in that series. The Clippers were destroying Utah that whole series without fucking Kawhi. It was Paul George, it was Terrence Mann, and you know that. That Clipper team was not remotely close to elite offensively without Kawhi. Fucking stop, that's bullshit. Now, Cleveland's personnel is far better defensively than Milwaukee's. Not close.
Hold on, Brandon. You're switching the goalposts. You just sat there and asked me to name a team that was a top 10 defensive unit without great point of attack defenders. I gave you the Utah Jazz, and you want to switch the goalposts to the fucking playoffs. That's not my point about the collective.
Because Utah was not a good defensive team against good offenses. Good offenses destroyed Utah. Gobert got cooked in the playoffs every fucking year. And when you talk about Cleveland got cooked in the playoffs by the Knicks last year too. Their defense got exposed.
The Utah Jazz.
You're just citing regular season stats. You're not analyzing the game. You're just citing stats. And Donovan Mitchell's a far better defender than Dame. That's a clown take.
Utah Jazz was a top 4 defensive rating.
No, they weren't. They were just dominating bad teams. I know you're just reading. Utah got exposed defensively in the playoffs.
I'm looking at it right now. The Utah Jazz in 2021 to 2022, 2020, 2021. They were a top 4 defensive unit, and it was a top.
You're just reading stats. The West was weak at that time. Those teams got exposed in the playoffs every year.
Bro. Not only that, bro. When you look at the teams that they faced in the playoffs, when they faced an elite Clippers team who had a great offense that year,
the Clippers were not elite without Kawhi. Wait, are you arguing the Clippers were elite offensively without Kawhi?
Yes, they were in game 5.
Oh, come on. You just cooked yourself. And Donovan Mitchell is a far better defender than Dame. He's bigger, stronger. Actually, it's interesting. Wait, it's interesting you brought up that Utah team, because guess who the best player on that Utah team that you think was such a good defensive team? Guess who the best player on that team was? Oh, wait, it was Donovan Mitchell. So Donovan Mitchell keeps showing up on what you think are good defensive teams, yet you keep shitting on Donovan Mitchell's defense. Donovan Mitchell's a solid defender. He's a far better defender than Dame. For you to say that Dame for you to say Donovan Mitchell is not a better defender than Dame is
You're lying again. He had Rudy Gobert. When you have an elite level rim protector, something that your man's Giannis Antetokounmpo hasn't been, right? He is able to perform at elite level defensively, bro. He's going to be able to be on great defensive units. That's not him being on a great defensive unit, bro, because he has great, solid defensive pieces around him. That's not then help his case of being a great defender or being better than a slouch defensively. Donovan Mitchell has always been mid defensively. The same goes for Damian Lillard. But you know what the one difference is that Evan Mobley and goddamn Jared Allen showing their defensive impact, especially being surrounded with mediocre and on-ball point of attack defenders. They still be able to still anchor a top 1 to top 2 defensive unit in the NBA, something that your man's Giannis Antetokounmpo hasn't done. On top of that, bro, Rudy Gobert, when he had terrible on-ball and point of attack defenders, where the Clippers literally went small ball and literally got everything that they wanted because Rudy Gobert had the responsibility to be in the back line help and have to come on the perimeter and have to guard a stretch 5 as well because they can't stay in front of their man and still be able to be a top 5 defensive unit that year. And if you look at the following year in 2021 and 2022 where they lost to Dallas, they were still a top 10 defense. They were still top 10 in opponent points, especially even getting worse on the perimeter and the point of attack, especially when they got rid of guys when they got rid of most of the guys like Joe Ingles who missed games as well, and guys that were not playing at an elite level on a point of attack and the perimeter as well. So your excuse that they don't have no good on-ball and point of attack defenders, and that's the reason why Giannis Antetokounmpo can't anchor a below average or average defensive team that dwells on his impact, bro. You've been cooked. Ken, what you got on this, bro? I'm done cooking this nigga, bro. Ken, you're on mute. But yeah, bro, you gotta
No,
stop.
that's wrong. That Utah team got destroyed defensively in the playoffs. Bring up Utah proves my point. Utah was let me finish. Utah was an overrated defensive team that got destroyed in the playoffs, and the Clippers were not remotely close to an elite offensive team when Kawhi got hurt. They put Gobert in a lot of pick and rolls and cooked him like a bitch. Now, if Donovan Mitchell, comparing him to Dame is absurd. Donovan Mitchell is a far better defender than Dame. Dame has two issues defensively. He can't guard bigger players, and he can't guard on the ball either. The other thing is the NBA is much more about perimeter defense than rim protection now because of how much better the three-point shooting is.
And that's applicable to why, and that's applicable to Damian Lillard as well. Donovan Mitchell, that's applicable to Donovan Mitchell as well. He cannot guard bigger players.
Donovan Mitchell's a far better defender than Dame.
No, he's not. I mean, there's
yes, he is. That's just a total lie.
That's comparing mid to mid, bro. My point is
okay. No. So let me ask you a question. Can you name a single year? Can you name a single year where Portland had a top 10 defense with Dame on the team? Name one year.
You said repeat that again.
Cooked. I said name 1 year Portland was a top 10 defensive team with Dame. Name one, because Utah was top 10 defensively repeatedly with Mitchell.
Okay, I will give you that year. Hold on, let me go look it up right quick.
Yeah, you got cooked. Portland was trash defensively with Dame and CJ. They couldn't guard at all. Dame can't guard anybody on the perimeter. Wait, to show you how bad Dame's defense was, when Jamal Murray was hurt, Monte Morris was averaging 30 a game.
Brandon, I got your answer. Now, can you answer the question again?
Monte Morris.
Can you answer the question again, Brandon? Can you ask me the question again about Dame when he ever been on the team that's been top 10? Can you answer that question?
Yeah, I said name a year Dame's been on a top 10 defensive team.
2017, 2018, the Portland Trailblazers was a top 10 defense, and they were top 5 in opponent points. You've been cooked, bitch.
Okay, so Dame is no. You're cooking yourself. So Dame was on one good. Dame was on one good. Dame. No. You're cooking yourself because Dame was on one. Dame was on one defensive team that was respectable in 10 fucking years. And Dame can't guard anybody. He can't guard bigger players. He can't guard on the perimeter. Here's how bad Dame's defense was. In the playoffs against Denver, when Jamal Murray was out, Monte fucking Morris is dropping 25 a game on Dame. He's an atrocious defender. Donovan Mitchell is a far better defender than Dame could ever be.
Brandon. What about 2014, 2015? They had a top 10 defensive unit as well. So he's been multiple years with a top 10 defensive unit as well. 2014, 2015, they were a top 10 defensive unit. 2017, 2018, they were top 5 in opponent points and top 5 in defensive rating as well. So Damian Lillard has been in multiple years with a top 10 defensive unit, bro.
Okay, so Dame played on Portland. Dame. Okay, no, you're cooking yourself because Dame played on Portland for 12 years, and almost every year Portland's defense was in the bottom third of the league. Those years the West was weak. That's the only reason Portland looked better statistically. But you're literally citing two out of 12 years that Portland was a respectable defensive team with Dame. Dame can't guard anyone. He literally got obliterated by Monte fucking Morris in the playoffs, and Dame's on-ball defense is the issue. Look, Giannis is not the problem. The problem is the roster, and the problem is Milwaukee also needs a defense. Milwaukee doesn't have a coach who emphasizes defense right now either.
Can I ask you something?
Who do
you consider the best defense in the playoffs last year?
In the playoffs last year, I mean, even though they were very limited offensively, I would say the Lakers were the best defense in the playoffs.
The Denver Nuggets were the number 1 ranked defense in the playoffs last year. So
Right. But again, you have to look at who a team's playing. So you're just reading stats. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you, okay? Because the Lakers were not a good offensive team. So Denver's defensive stats look good when they were playing a Laker team that was not a good offense. The Lakers' defense was more impressive to me than Denver's in the playoffs. You're just reading stats. Again, the Lakers played Memphis. The Lakers completely shut Golden State down. The Lakers were a better defensive team than Denver.
Contradicting your whole point. Because when
I'm not. You're just reading stats with no context.
Hold on. You sat there and said that you're all about defenses being elite in the postseason. So when you sit there and I ask you who was the best defense in the playoffs last year, and you said the Lakers, when the number one ranked defense in the postseason last year was the Denver Nuggets, then that's how you contradict yourself, bro.
Okay, so I don't. So let me explain why what you're saying is wrong. Okay, because Miami without Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler clearly had injury issues in the finals as well. Jimmy Butler was atrocious in the finals. He turned his ankle against the Knicks and he wasn't healthy after that point. So Denver played two bad offensive teams. They played the Lakers and they played Miami. Again, the Lakers were a better defensive team than Denver. Denver's going to look better statistically because they played two significantly below average offensive teams in Miami and the Lakers.
And that's applicable to the Lakers. They faced an injured ass John Morant offense in the Memphis Grizzlies, who was not really of a great half-court offense. They faced a Warriors team who was not elite offense.
No, Memphis has a good record without Morant.
No. You're not hearing my point. The Memphis Grizzlies was not a great half-court offense. They were one of the worst half-court offense in the NBA, especially placing the injured John Morant offense. They faced a Warriors offense who was not elite last year as well. So, like, my point is to sit there and say you're cooking yourself because the Lakers face trash-ass competition. So they see an elite offense in the playoffs in the Western Conference Finals. That defense got obliterated. Belts to ass, nigga. So, like, I asked you again.
No, that's not true. The Lakers defended. That's not true. You're lying. The Lakers defended Denver. For the reason the Lakers lost to Denver was LeBron couldn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter. The Lakers defended Denver fairly well for most of the series. They struggled to defend the Lakers. The Lakers struggled to defend Denver late in the series, but the Lakers were in almost every game in the fourth quarter. LeBron just couldn't hit shots. He had the foot injury, but LeBron's also old as fuck. LeBron's old. He got tired at altitude in the fourth quarter. But Golden State was a top offensive team last year. For you to say Golden State wasn't good offensively last year is a lie.
They were not good offensively last year.
Yes, they were. That's a lie. And Miami and the Lakers were both bad defensive teams. The Lakers were the best defensive team in the playoffs last year. Their offense wasn't very good.
Bro, the Warriors last year was not a good offense, bro.
Like, I don't agree with you. The Lakers weren't. The Lakers were good offense
outside of Steph Curry, who had impact. And I think when Steph Curry's on the floor, he was the guy that was the league offense. Outside of that, I mean, can you name who they had that was great offensively last year? Klay Thompson, he was regressing with his splits as well. Andrew Wiggins was inconsistent. Jordan Poole dropped off compared to what he had the previous year as well. They did not have an elite offense. Stop.
Well, first of all, the Warriors have never had elite offensive talent around Curry. When the Warriors were elite offensively, they with the exception of when they had KD, they didn't have great talent around Curry. The Warriors were a good offensive team, and again, it's not just that the Lakers beat the Warriors; they completely shut them down. The Lakers. Well, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Okay, the Lakers didn't just beat the Warriors; they were blowing them out. They were completely shutting their offense down. Denver was not shutting teams down defensively the way the Lakers were. The Lakers completely dominated defensively against Memphis and Golden State. Denver was not dominating anybody defensively. Their defense was solid, but they were not dominating defensively like the Lakers were when the Lakers played Memphis and Golden State.
That point is invalid because when you face inadequate offense, which they did against the Grizzlies,
the Warriors were not inadequate offense.
Oh, shut up! I let you talk, nigga. Now, when you face inadequate offense in the postseason, offense in the postseason with the Memphis Grizzlies as well, they were not a good half-court offense. So all they were doing was just sagging off their fucking shooters. They had Dylan Brooks, John Morant, guys that are not great floor spacers as well. Jaren Jackson Jr., who fucking shoots like sub 30% from the three-point line. So when you face an inadequate offense in the first round, that didn't inflate your stats. So then that allows me to go see an offense in the Golden State Warriors, which I didn't consider elite because outside outside of Steph Curry, they didn't have guys that was consistently getting to the rim. Jordan Poole was
You're moving the
Klay
goalposts.
Hold on, stop talking, over talking me. Jordan Poole was regressing. Klay Thompson was regressing as well. Outside of Steph Curry, they really didn't have enough guys that were consistently putting pressure on the rim as well. Then on top of that, bro, they go face a Nuggets offense who was elite offensively, and then that defense got cooked. It got shredded.
Okay, no, you're lying. So first of all, the Warriors had the eighth ranked offense in the NBA last year. So to say the Warriors did not have a good offense, no, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie to say the Warriors were not good offensively.
Hold on. I thought Brandon does not cite stats. We sat there and we started this argument when I sat there and told you that this team was elite defensively because of stats. I thought by your logic, you don't cite stats. I thought by your logic, you don't cite regular season stats.
I cite stats with context.
Okay. No. So the stats with context, you're not bringing those contexts because I'm giving you the context on why they were not elite offense this year. You're just citing stats on why they're elite.
I didn't say they were elite. I said they were good.
They were not a good offense last year. Tell me why.
That's just wrong.
Tell me why they were good.
Because they were efficient. Curry had an elite season last year, and the other thing you're missing is Klay Thompson. No, let me. You just asked me a question. Let me answer. Okay, Klay Thompson struggled at the beginning of the year. He was much better late in the year. Curry was elite. The Warriors weren't. I never said the Warriors were an elite offense, but they were a good offense. They were top 10, and the Lakers completely dominated. They shut them down. The Lakers were the most impressive defense in the playoffs last year, and the Lakers did not lose to Denver because of defense. They lost because of their offense. The Lakers were in almost every game in that series in the fourth quarter because of their defense.
Okay, so Brandon, so how come when you want to sit there and prove your point on why the Warriors were a good offense and then not come and ask your ass who was the best defense in the NBA? You sat there and said the Lakers, but when I showed you who was the number one ranked defense in the playoffs last year, it was the Nuggets. You sat there and didn't want to listen to that stat. Why are you not being consistent, bro?
No, I'm saying you can apply stats with context, but let me ask you a question. Do you think the Lakers were a good offensive team last year?
So when I bring the context on why the Lakers, why you consider the Lakers elite because they shut down these mid-ass offense, those are the
Golden State was not a mid-offense. They were good offense.
Why you want to bring up context for the Nuggets but not apply those contexts with the Lakers and why their defensive stats was misused because they faced inadequate offense in the postseason, bro?
Okay, because I don't agree with you. Golden State was not a mid-offense. Klay Thompson was horrible at the beginning of the season last year, but he was good at the end of last year. The Warriors were favored against the Lakers in that series. The Warriors were a good offensive team, and the Lakers didn't just beat Golden State. They destroyed them. The Lakers beat Golden State by 20 points or more in 2 games in that series. The Lakers completely shut Golden State down in multiple games in that series. And against Denver, the Lakers were in every single game except one.
And if you want to apply context, why you don't want to apply context that how the Lakers were living at the free throw line? So when you're living at the free throw line, that's allowing your half-court defense to get set. And Lakers was literally feasting on that because they was having an unrealistic free throw disparity over opposing teams, which allowed their defense to get set so they don't have to be in transition, because that's was the biggest flaw of the Lakers defense last year was transition defense. So when you getting your defense set because you get into the free throw line as well,
every team struggles to defend in transition.
So my point is to sit there and say is that you want to use stats to benefit your argument, but when I sit there debunk your argument on who was the number one ranked defense last year, you don't want to sit there and give the Nuggets their props because they were the number one ranked defense. But when you want to sit there and say that the Warriors were a good offense, you bring up that they were top 10 or top 8 in offensive rating. That is irrelevant, dude.
Okay, so 3 things, right? First of all, I never said once that Denver doesn't deserve props. They do. Denver played good defense in the playoffs. Denver was an average defensive team in the regular season, but Denver did play good defense in the playoffs. I never said anything negative about Denver. I just said the Lakers were a better defensive team than Denver in the playoffs. And again, a simple question for you. Were the Lakers a good offensive team last year? No. So why were the Lakers competitive in every single game but one against Denver in that series, even though we know Denver was the best offensive team in the NBA last year? Because the Lakers defended Denver well. So when you're citing these defensive stats, the Lakers played the best offense in the entire NBA, Denver, and they were competitive with Denver, even though they weren't a good offensive team because they defended them well. Denver played two significantly below average offenses in the playoffs, the Lakers and Miami. The Lakers were more impressive defensively. They defended better than Golden State. You're just looking at stats with no context. Stats matter, but you have to apply context.
Yeah, and once again, you lied, because when we look at the Golden State Warriors, when you look at that team, they were a mid offense. In the postseason, they were not good. Outside of Steph Curry, that's the only time.
Because they played the Lakers. That's in the playoffs. You just cooked yourself again.
Stop over talking me. My point is to sit there and say is that
the Lakers.
Why are you not?
Golden State didn't look good offensively.
Can you shut the fuck up? Can you shut up, bro? Let me talk. Why are you not providing context on who the Lakers face in the postseason? Why are you not providing context? Why are you not providing context that they faced a mid offense in the first round? Why are you not talking about how Ja Morant was injured when Giannis Antetokounmpo got his ass beat, bro, in the first round against the Miami Heat, bro? You want to cite that he was fucking injured and bring up those contexts as well, but you're not bringing up the context that the Lakers faced an injured Memphis Grizzlies teams in the first round, which inflated their stats because they was a mid offense and they were not really that good. Then the Golden State Warriors, they were not a good offense as well. Outside of Steph Curry, that is the only guy that had an efficient career high in efficiency and points. Outside of that, you cannot name anybody. Jordan Poole had a down year. Klay Thompson had a down year in efficiency and points, and he was nowhere near the same player and can't nowhere apply rim pressure. The Golden State Warriors struggle to get into the paint. They struggle to get into the rim as well. That is the major flaw that they had on the offensive side of the ball as well, right? And you want to sit there and say they had a great or elite offense, which they were not, bro. So like I said, as soon as they seen a Denver Nuggets team who was a great offense, that team did not look good whatsoever. They were giving up 119 points. They gave up 132 points in game one as well. But you want to sit there and say they had elite offense. And then they got them game 4. They were cooking as well, bro. Then again, bro, they were literally, the Denver Nuggets was the most efficient. Jamal Murray went 50, 40, 90. Where was the defense, bro? Nikola Jokic averaged over 30. Where was the defense, bro? So to sit there and say they were in every dogfight where they 2 stars and Jokic and Murray, KCP and Michael Porter Jr. were fucking efficient in that fucking series. You're cooked.
Okay, I'm going to completely charbroil you now. So, first of all, the idea that the Lakers were only good defensively against Memphis because Morant was hurt is a complete and total lie. The Lakers dominated Memphis defensively even when Morant played. In Game 6, the Lakers held Memphis. No. I didn't interrupt you, so you don't get to interrupt me, okay? The Lakers held Memphis to 85. I'm going to repeat that one more time. 85 fucking points and 30% shooting in Game 6. Guess who was on the floor for that game? Morant. The Lakers dominated Memphis defensively, both when Morant was on the floor and he was off the floor. And the Memphis actually has a very good record when Morant is out too. The Warriors were a top 10 offense. Again, the Lakers dominated them. And when you're citing the Lakers struggling defensively against Denver, Denver was one of the best offensive teams in NBA history last year. And again, the Lakers were competitive in every game. By the way, giving up 109 points to Denver is good. That was below Denver's season average. Again, the Lakers were competitive in every game but one against Denver, even though the Lakers were not a good offensive team. Denver was an all-time great offensive team, and the Lakers defense was still good against Denver for almost every game in that series. The Lakers were not a good offensive team, but they were competitive with Denver. Why? Because of their defense. You lied about Morant. When he played, the Lakers still dominated Memphis defensively, and Golden State was a top 10 offense. Klay Thompson played much better late in the year. Steph Curry was elite. And again, the Lakers didn't just stop Golden State. They dominated Golden State defensively. The Lakers were more impressive defensively than Denver in the playoffs. And it's really not close. The only reason why Denver statistically looks better defensively is the Lakers played one of the best offenses in NBA history in Denver. Denver played the Lakers, who were below average offensively.
All right, we heard you, bro. All right, number one, he lied talking about Denver was the best offense in NBA history. No, they fucking not, bro. They don't have fucking Magic Johnson. They don't have fucking Jordan. They're not one of the greatest offense in NBA history. That is one of the worst takes I ever heard. Number two, bro, you keep on citing that they fucking held a Memphis Grizzlies offense, who was a below league average offense, bro. In the half court, they didn't have no literally great spacing whatsoever. Ja Morant couldn't shoot worth the dick. Jared Jackson Jr. couldn't space the floor and hit threes. He was shooting like sub 29% from the 3-point line as well. Not only that, bro, you had Dylan Brooks, who routinely was living them wide open, didn't have enough spacing as well. So, like, my point is to sit there and say they were not a good goddamn offense as well. And the Lakers did their thing because they feast up on mediocre offenses in the first round, especially when their best player in Ja Morant was battling a significant hand injury as well. So you ignore context with that. Then it gets the Golden State Warriors team. Outside of fucking Steph Curry, they didn't have no guys that was consistently getting to the rim. Jordan Poole was complete terrible throughout the whole entire playoff run. He was terrible against the Kings, and he was terrible against the Los Angeles Lakers. Andrew Wiggins, who was fucking out within half of the fucking season and the second half of the season as well, bro. Came back in that series against the Kings, bro, and he was not in shape. He didn't play well in the postseason as well, and he didn't have really good of a efficient year that year, bro. You telling me that this Warriors offense was elite? No, they wasn't. Klay Thompson was regressing as well, bro. He was inconsistent and up and down against the Kings series as well. Outside of Steph Curry, who had to put up a historical Game 7 for that team to get out of the Game 7 against the Sacramento Kings, that was not an elite level offense, ladies and gentlemen, bro. So when you sit there and want to bring up context on why the Denver Nuggets, ladies and gentlemen, were the number one ranked defense and they face mediocre offense and shit like that, bro. They face better offenses what the Lakers face, bro. They face a Phoenix Suns offense who were elite. They face a goddamn they face better offense than goddamn the Phoenix Suns, the best offense that they ever placed, bro. Better offense that they ever faced.
Yeah. So first of all, I never said Denver's the best offense in NBA history. I said Denver was an all-time great. I said Denver was an all-time great offense last year, which is true. I didn't say they're the best offense in NBA history. I said they're one of the best offenses in NBA history. They were not an all-time great offense. And again, the Lakers were controlling Memphis defensively, even before Morant got hurt. The Lakers won Game 1, which was great. No, let me finish, okay? I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish, okay? So the Lakers dominated. The Lakers controlled Memphis with their defense before Morant had the hand injury. The Lakers beat Memphis by 16 in Game 1. That was before Morant's hand injury, okay? And secondly, again, the Lakers didn't just beat Golden State. They dominated them defensively. I never said the Warriors were an elite offensive team. They were a good offensive team. They were top 10. Thompson was playing well at the end of the year. Curry was elite. And again, the Lakers didn't just stop Golden State. They dominated them defensively. So when you look at Denver, Denver was an average defensive team in the regular season, and Denver played two significantly below average offenses in the playoffs, Miami and the Lakers. The Lakers were dominating teams with defense. The Nuggets were not. And again, the Lakers were not a good offensive team last year. They weren't, but they were still competitive with Denver in the conference finals in every game but one. Why? Because of defense.
Yeah, this nigga lied once again. First of all,
no, you're lying. And Memphis had a good record without Morant too.
Yeah, but that's not negating to the point that they were still a below average offense in the NBA. That is a fact.
They were right around average. They were not.
They were below average offense. So name me two floor spaces that
they were right around average.
Name me two floor spaces that they had on the team that was shooting the ball at a high clip.
Shoot the ball. I mean, Desmond Bane is a very good shooter, and Jaren Jackson's a solid shooter as well. Morant's a good mid-range shooter.
Jaren Jackson Jr., ladies and gentlemen. See, this is why this is why he's easy to be cooked.
No, and Bane has been a 40% three-point shooter. Bane's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA.
Jaren Jackson Jr. last year shot 30% from the 3-point line. So if you think that's a great 3-point shooter, you're crazy. And you all about sitting there saying that you equate volume when you're looking at 3-point shooters as well. This man was taking 3-4 threes a game and shooting 30% from the 3-point shot. That's not a great 3-point shooter, bro. Now, my point is to sitting there and saying,
I didn't say he's a great 3-point shooter, but he can space the floor. He's a shooter.
No, he cannot. He cannot speak for you. A guy,
yes, he can.
A guy that teams are routinely leaving off and sagging off down below, bro, is not spacing the floor out. You're not spacing the floor out when a guy's taking 4 threes a game and shooting like 33% from the 3-point line. That is not good. That's below league average. Now, my point is,
Bane is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
My point is to sit there and say that Memphis Grizzlies team did not have no great adequate floor spacing. Not only that, they were a below league average half court offense. They were dead last. That's who the Lakers feast up on. Do you understand how great Anthony Davis was looking in those series against the Grizzlies and against the against the Golden State Warriors? You know why? Because they had mediocre goddamn offense as well. Soon as Anthony Davis saw a great elite level offense, he was neutralized. He was a bitch. Jokic made us his whole life. Right? It was a point where Anthony Davis had to be a roamer, and the Denver Nuggets was still cooking that fucking so-called elite level defensive unit with the Los Angeles Lakers, bro. So that's my point is to sit there and say is that if you're willing to provide context on who the Lakers face or who the Nuggets face defensively, then you must do it with the Los Angeles Lakers, bro. And what you're doing in your argument, bro, is you're lacking consistency, bro. You lacking a lot of consistency, bro. So my point is to sit there and say this, because I've been cooking you on this shit.
That's wrong.
My point is to sit there and say is that you can still have below league average point of attack on ball defenders and still be an elite level defender. You don't want to sit there and hold your man's Giannis Antetokounmpo accountable because that you're a fanboy and you know damn well that he hasn't been the elite defender this season, bro. That is a fact, bro. That is a fact.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. So first of all, Durant and Booker played eight fucking games together before the playoffs. So Phoenix was not remotely close to an elite offensive team. They had zero chemistry. Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton both got hurt in that series as well. And the other thing is, you're citing Denver playing Phoenix and how elite Phoenix was offensively. Not only was Phoenix not elite offensively, but Phoenix fucking cooked Denver for most of that series too. Devin Booker was shooting 60% from the field through the first 3 games
Brandon.
In that series. So when you're talking about Denver defending this elite Phoenix team, no, you're cooking yourself because Phoenix had success offensively against Denver early in the series. And Minnesota was cooking Denver's defense several games too. Anthony Edwards was obliterating Murray's trash POA defense. So when you say Memphis was a bad offensive team, that's wrong. Memphis was a middle of the road offensive team. And it's interesting. You cite stats. Wait. No, let me finish. So you cite stats when they serve your purpose, and then you try and say stats don't matter. The stats indicate the Warriors were the stats say the Warriors were a top 10 offensive team. The Lakers didn't just beat the Warriors. The Lakers dominated. The Lakers dominated that top 10 offensive team. Denver never dominated anyone defensively who had a good offense. Nobody. Booker was shooting 60% against Denver. Anthony Edwards was destroying Denver. Denver's defense only looked like a top defense against below average offenses like Miami and the Lakers.
Yeah. Once again, he's proven my point on why. The Phoenix Suns were elite offensively.
They were not elite offensively. Booker and Durant had played 8 games together.
When the 8 games that they played, bro, they had the top 5 offensive rated in the NBA. I just looked it up. So just gave you the stats on that.
Against trash teams. Yeah.
8 games that they played, they had a top 5 offensive rating in the NBA. So you love stats, and I gave you the stats right there. So not only that, ladies,
you're the one who loves stats.
I want to pivot on because I've been cooking his ass in the chat and saying I've been cooking his ass.
You're not cooking anyway. The Lakers were far.
The chat
better defensively than Denver in the playoffs.
Brandon, the chat said I've been cooking.
Yeah, well, the chat's lying. Anyways,
the chat said I've been cooking.
The Denver's defense got cooked by Anthony Edwards. They got cooked by Devin Booker. Denver's defense only looked like a top defensive unit against the Lakers and against Miami, both below average offensive teams. And the Lakers were competitive against Denver because their defense, not their offense.
Of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant having two outliers of performance and got them, I would say, Game 3 and Game 4. They
weren't outliers. Denver got cooked. And Anthony Edwards cooked Denver too.
Outside of Game 3, where Devin Booker had an outlier of a shooting night, and the same goes for Kevin Durant as well, right? They really was not a good offense in that whole series because of Denver's defense. That's a fact, bro. Devin Booker,
that's not true.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. Devin Booker, where he scored 47 and 38 in games.
Phoenix cooked Denver at the beginning of that series.
Games 1, Games 3. Then in Game 6, he scored 28 shots, 42% from the field, right? And then in Game 6, he scored 12 points, 30%, 33% from the 3-point line. And then outside of that, I mean, Devin Booker was cooking. He was the best player on that fucking team. But when we looking at Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, when you said who was the best player on the fucking team as well, right? Let me see what Kevin Durant did. Kevin Durant in that series.
Anthony Edwards averaged 32 points a game against Denver as well. Denver was not defending well against good offensive players or good offensive teams.
In that series, he scored 24 points, shot 37% from the field, 60% from the 3-point line, couldn't get to the rim to save his life. Game 3, he scored 39 points, but he shot 38% from the field, 20% from the 3-point line. And then in Game 4, I think Game 4, he scored 36 points. Really good game, efficient splits. But then in the Game 6, he scored 26 points, 41% from the field, 0% from the 3-point line. And in the Game 6, he scored 23 points, shot 42% from the fucking field. That's
okay. So let me ask you a question. Was Steph Curry an elite offensive player last year? Yes or no?
Repeat that again.
Was Steph Curry an elite offensive player last year? Yes or no?
Was he elite offensive player last year?
Yeah. Was Steph Curry an elite offensive player last year? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Okay, we both know it. So here's what the Lakers did to Steph Curry in that series.
Because he didn't have no good
held
spacing,
Curry to 21%.
He didn't have no
good spacing. The Lakers held Curry to 27.
Huh? What'd you say? I can't hear you, Brandon. Brandon, you gotta come in. I can't hear you. But yeah, like I said that's another terrible point when you're about to say he's about to sit there and bring up Steph Curry's shooting splits against the goddamn Los Angeles Lakers. I told you that the Golden State Warriors was not a great offensive team last year, bro. And what they were routinely doing, they were doubling, trapping Steph Curry. Every time when Steve Kerr used him as a pick and roll ball handler, they would have another defender in Anthony Davis who would doubling and trapping Steph Curry. Steph Curry virtually had nobody in that series, bro, and still be able to provide some adequate offensive help, especially when you have the Lakers team who were living and dying at the free throw line, and also, bro, which allowed a half-court offense to get set. Damn, Chad, I cooked this nigga. I cooked this nigga so bad that his internet went out, nigga. I'm gone, bro. I'm about to give me some pussy, man. I'm gone, bro. Y'all niggas stay up, bro. I cooked this nigga so bad. Hey, Chad, did I cook this nigga, Chad? Did I cook this nigga, man? But let me close out with this shit, bro. The moral of the story is Giannis hasn't been elite defensively. His impact hasn't derailed to his team to be a great defensive unit. Brandon got cooked when he sat there and asked me to name players or name a team that's been elite defensively without POA defenders. Just name that. And he got cooked, bro. I'm going, nigga. Holla, nigga.
This is a warning. You better avoid poets.